Well, it is always great to have the big left-hander Sean Manaea on the program, A's Cast Live, as he's getting ready for the Giants and the Athletics coming up from Oracle Park. It has been a while. How are you? We miss you.
Yeah, things have been going great. A little bit different on the other side of the bay, but Giants Nation's been great so far, and love playing in Oracle. So, other than that, baseball season, and just miss you guys too.
Well, you know how big of a fan favorite you were and how much everybody loved you in Oakland. We've never taken off the set. We've never taken you down. We've always been up
I
here.
just noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're next to the big three. We've never taken you down. And even though that you obviously went on and pitched for the Padres and pitched for the Giants, once you've been here and you've had great success in the bonds here, the Oakland A's will always be a big part of your career and who you are as a professional.
Yeah, I mean, they gave me the opportunity to pitch at the big league level, and spent a lot of years there, and had a lot of great relationships and learned a lot. Grew up as a man, and all these great things. So Oakland's definitely going to always have a special place in my heart, and forever grateful for that.
Recently we were just talking about. We'll get into Giants, but recently we were just talking with Boston. The A's taking on Boston in Boston before the break, and then right after the break. A lot of talk about your no-hitter against the Boston Red Sox, and I remember that night. The Red Sox came to town, obviously a terrific team, and it was a night where you were just cruising. And when you think back to that night of that no-hitter, what comes to mind for you?
I mean, just the adrenaline, because the few times that I faced them before wasn't pretty, and they had my number for sure. So there's a lot of for me, just the emotion, and just I wanted to have like a good start, and wasn't expecting a no-hitter, but as the game kept going, it just things were flowing, and the game just felt like it was over within a couple minutes. Just thinking back about it, but I don't know, it was just perfect night, and a lot of people there, so that was really cool, and just overall that was obviously a very special night.
How often do you think about it?
Randomly. People will bring it up every once in a while, and it's hard not to think about that night. So randomly check out the highlights on YouTube every now and again. But it's always a special moment. So definitely something I go back to here and there.
This past offseason, you went up and worked out at Driveline, right?
In Arizona.
In Arizona, was it Driveline?
Yeah, they're the original office is in Kent, Washington, I believe, near Seattle. But they opened up this one they opened up an original one in I think Phoenix, and then they moved to this one this past year. So after the season last year, I was like, I knew I needed to get in some baseball specific training, and they've obviously got a pretty long track record and all this stuff. So I've trained there the whole off season, and loved it.
Yeah, because we've been hearing a lot about it for years. We've had guys on the show from Driveline. I just kind of want to get your overall experience. I know they're starting to work with a lot of young players. We got college guys, high school guys, people who want to get better with their biomechanics. They want to improve their velocity. Just kind of take us through the process. What do you think they really did for you and helped you going into this season?
Well, the first thing that we did motion captures. So they put all these dots and basically biomechanics stuff that smart people interpret. That stuff goes way over my head, but they do a good job of breaking down the numbers and your rotational speeds, and a bunch of fancy metrics that again I don't really understand, but they do a good job of explaining the most important things that you could the low-hanging fruit that you could improve upon. So it was the first thing I did. when I got there, which would have been like a week or two after the season ended. And, from then on, or what they got from that motion capture data, they, pretty much just gave me a plyo ball routine for like the off season. And, it was like kind of like a trust thing where it's like, we think these drills are going to help you. So, they, do that. We have like a whole like map of like what the off season is going to be like. And, we think, this could definitely help. So, a little different than what I expected, but, I, trusted that process. And, even getting like towards the end there of the off season, like, my velo had increased like a little bit. But I knew for me, it was kind of like I needed like some adrenaline, some like fans in the stadium and stuff like that. I can't really just walk up a two mound and just throw 98, which, some guys can do that, but I don't know, for me, I just couldn't do that. So, but I definitely felt it towards the end of the off season there. And my first game that I pitched with the Giants hit 97, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like physically, like I was trying harder or anything. It just kind of was coming out better. So, my velo has been up this whole year, which has been great. So, I definitely think it works. And, it's been, incredible so far. So.
I know you guys probably aren't scoreboard watching, so let me do that for you. It's kind of crazy right now. The way the wild card works, the Reds have a half-game lead over you guys, the Diamondbacks, the Phillies, the Marlins. I mean, you guys are all in this group for the wild card. I know you're still chasing the division, but just do you guys talk about in the clubhouse just, wow, how bunched up all these teams are for the wild card, and of course still trying to win the division, which the Dodgers lead?
Yeah, I think it's a topic of conversation. I don't think we're all just sitting around just like discussing each little thing, but I think it's always in the back of our minds, especially getting here into August. We got like a little over 2 months left, so we're definitely starting to get into that stretch run here. So I think everyone's thinking about it, but obviously the goal is for the NL West, and it's definitely a real possibility. So, as the season goes on, like that group, it's going to be crazy here towards the end there. So, who knows what happens.
When I think about you being a starter and pitching a lot of games out of the bullpen this year, it's so far different, right? Game day as a starter, you have your routine, how you warm up, when you run, when you throw, when you stretch, go through that whole process, how much you throw in the bullpen versus being in the bullpen. It's like, get down there, warm up, you got to get ready to rock, right? It's like 8 pitches, you got to be ready. So what has that transition been like for you throwing so many games out of the bullpen?
Yeah, it's like you said, it's very, you pretty much described it. As a starter, each day is like its own routine, different routine. So like, day one, like say I started today, like tomorrow would be, all set on this one, like specific, like get the body moving, light throwing, if any throwing, really trying to recover. And then the next day would be something different. The next day would be different. So as a starter, your days are kind of structured around like your starts. And what I've noticed as, coming out of the pen is like every day is pretty much the same. Unless you go multiple innings and, you're down, that next day, it's kind of, you have time to recover and do all that stuff. So, but coming out of the pen is like, pretty, at least for me, it's been like the same routine every day. Go out and throw, stretch, run, work out if I have to. And then like, I have my own routine that I do right before, or like as the game's going on, just to be ready, if my name's called. So, I'd say it's, been a lot different, but, like the new challenges, it's been, great to see this perspective coming out out of the pen and, you know, seeing the game from a different viewpoint. And yeah, you know, I just like welcoming new challenges. So it's been great so far, but definitely a challenge.
I wish all A's fans could have been there to see, and we'll end on this, how you handled that day in spring training where you got traded and you came into the clubhouse and you were so emotional. Everybody was emotional. And then you're pitching against the A's in a Padres uniform and a green glove and green cleats. And then you were so kind to then do an interview with me in the Padres clubhouse after the start. You're a salt of the earth kind of guy. It's one of the reasons why we all loved you. It's why the fans all loved you. And it's why we will always root for you. No matter what jersey you put on, we are all going to be in your camp. And you never know, maybe someday you come back and pitch for the green and gold. But I can't thank you enough for everything you did for us, the man you were, and what you meant to the community and the A's fan base. So we'll always love you. We're rooting for you. Good luck the rest of the season.
Man, it just gave me chills right there. Thank you for the kind words. I mean, appreciate it. Appreciate you and, you know, the fans. So, yeah, love you guys.
Take care.
Take care.